Hello, and welcome to the Honest Property Podcast with your hosts, Rebecca and Ruth. And today we're going to be talking about the future of property investment education. We've been sisters in business and investing for for a while.
For a long time. We've been sisters for even longer, but yes, business and investing for the last just more than 10 years now.
Mm.
So we have a lot to go on when it comes to our personal experiences with property education. And I think it's a relatively new thing, property education, because usually there was an in-house mentor for people who did learn about
So you
property
would learn from
education
your uncle, your grandfather. It would be passed. That knowledge is usually passed down
within the
within the
family.
family, and it's in circles where those kind of discussions don't really get talked about openly. It
Or
would,
they're not shared as like a formal education with other people, where other people have the option to pay for that knowledge. But nowadays there is, well, when we began, there wasn't very many options.
mm,
But nowadays there definitely are several options, several ways you can learn
which
about
is
how to invest in property.
which is great because there are so many ways that people learn now.
Mm.
And from our experience, when we were learning about property, it wasn't the way that we would want to learn now.
No, no. Oh, I just want to just also mention I saw something quite interesting earlier today. It was a reel on Instagram,
Yeah.
and there was this property educator, and he was going around Cambridge, and he was interviewing. So Cambridge is a prestigious university in the whole world, especially the UK. And he was asking the students if basic questions about financial literacy. They didn't really know
You
anything,
don't
which
know.
is wild. And you'd think that that is something that is fundamental knowledge, in my opinion, and something that everybody should have access to. And it really like speaks how um, society is, that we don't even want the most academic people in the world to understand how to invest, or that it's just not knowledge that is widely known.
Mm.
And more people definitely should have access to this knowledge and understand, because it's fundamental. Like, what's a mortgage? A lot of people don't realize there's so many different types of mortgages out there that could suit you.
Yeah. And also, if you didn't get given this knowledge when you were younger, or you didn't have people around you that taught you this, as an adult, it is our responsibility now to source this
Self
information,
educate.
self educate. So we're really firm believers in personal development, ongoing education, and continuous learning.
Because no one's going to save you. It's
No.
naive to think like the government will save you. They're not going to save you. You have to save yourself. Like, there's only so much they could do towards helping
Because
society in the
humans
best
are
way.
so complex
Yeah.
and we all live very different lives. We're all living different lives where we're not checking into a factory
Yeah.
every day. We all do such different jobs and live very differently. So it's so nice to see now that there are so many different ways that people can educate themselves that suits them.
Exactly. And I think what is universally understood is that investing is a good thing. How
Mm.
to? No one really knows. So I'm really glad that in this day and age,
With the information era, is that what
there's
it's called?
so many options for you
Yeah.
to educate yourself if you choose to, but it is still a bit of a minefield to know. Maybe it's the other way around, like maybe there's too many options now and it's really difficult to know what would suit you. But just to throw back to how we began, because there weren't very many options when we began, we found a course that was the first part of it was a 3-day course in London, which obviously required us. We're not based in London. We are in the southwest, but we're not based in London. So even going to London from here costs,
It's expensive.
like, I think people have caught on that you could go abroad for the price of going to London.
Yeah.
So it was very expensive. So it requires the transport, um, the accommodation,
Accommodation.
and then we would sit in hard seats for like 3 days, for hours, for the 3 days, surrounded by people we didn't we felt alienated with because we were nothing like them. Um, at the time, we had the time to go because we were students, but no one else there were young 20-year-old students. They were mostly middle-aged men who were at a stage in their life that they had more time,
And money as
money,
well.
and maybe not the same sort of responsibilities like we would like the every niche of person has different types of responsibilities. So this setup just would cater to somebody who had that level of flexibility already. And finances. We it was very expensive. It was very expensive to do the course, but because there were no other options, we
Yeah.
didn't feel like we had a choice.
And also another thing I didn't like was like, I'm so glad that we did do it, but I don't like the it's all a psychology thing where they're like, put your hand up, run to the back.
This is only going to be this price today. It's not going to be this price
And like,
tomorrow.
obviously it's all marketing, but
It's a lot of
it was a
pressure
lot of pressure. I
to
mean,
part with your money, and they encouraged you to use your credit card.
yeah. And like I don't want, what I'm trying to say, I didn't like the pressure that it really puts, especially when you're young,
Yeah.
and you haven't really had loads of life experience to go, okay, well, this is it. I'm going to just spend my money and run to the back of the room.
Sign up now
And sign up
part
now.
with thousands and thousands of pounds. Yeah, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel good. And like, if you wanted to go to the toilet, it's just a side thing, but if you wanted to go to the toilet and the speaker is speaking at the front, you risk losing like a really essential piece of information because you can't put them on pause.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
also, I've personally have done like, what would you say? I'm someone that works better at working on my own time.
Oh yeah.
And so I've done many courses where I've been able to do it from home, stop it when need a break, and not be on someone else's schedule to be able to,
Yeah.
and not be on someone else's schedule to have to stay listening when my brain is no longer computing.
Yeah. Imagine turning up and you're on, your luteal phase. Like, the brain's not going to brain when you want it to. It's not something you can do in your own time, which is there was just so much from the experience that we thought could have been done better. And I'm really glad to see that there are a multitude of options out there just because of technology and just the plethora of information that's available on the internet now and the way it's delivered. So we really think that a good starting place is, well, we started with books, good old regular book. I love Audible. That's a game changer because when you're driving, you can learn so much as you drive, like as you're just moving around. And I think my brain works well, like when we have our talking meetings, when I'm moving at the same time as listening to something. I don't do well when I'm sat still in one spot for a long period of time.
End, yeah.
Especially with the hard seats, they just hurt your bottom. And then
after we did that, we didn't really have a community.
no.
And I know we were early 20s, so we were naturally a little bit lacked in confidence.
Yeah.
But like, that's because of our age as well. And we didn't have anyone, because we didn't have anyone around us and we didn't connect with anyone on this course. It was just us two.
Yeah, just us two. Like, we literally only had each other. There was nobody we could connect to or open up with. It was difficult.
Or discuss with anyone. And we didn't know how to. Now the internet's amazing and it does have a lot of people online that are doing similar things, which is really great to see, and you can connect with the right people. But back then we didn't know we could use the internet for that.
Well, no, it wasn't a thing. Instagram wasn't a thing at all. Like that option was just really wasn't there. Um, and then we'd go to PIN meetings. So PIN meetings are property investor networking meetings. There's probably going to be one in your city or very local to you. They're dotted all around the country, but that was another opportunity to meet up with other like-minded people. Still really recommend it,
Mm.
but the
It
PIN
didn't.
meetings at that time were still reflecting the exact same kind of people that were on our course. And these were older
Older
guys
men, or
who, yeah, were just
handing out their business cards and
not really connecting with
not
you as a
really.
person,
No, it was
turning up in
just, it
suits,
was like just trying to get your business cards out quickly, and it felt like it was a very transactional,
soulless.
so transactional meet. It didn't feel like there was real authentic relationships that were being built when we went to these pin meetings. So
If
we decided to just stop going for a long time.
mm, yeah, I think maybe because we were around a lot of people in suits, it just felt corporate and didn't feel like it was accommodating like any humanity really. It was like you said, transactional, and just cold. And just like, why are we all doing this? So we can have a great human experience.
Yeah.
And it totally lacked that at the time. I'm like, there's so many new types of networking events happening. By the way, we are, if you didn't know, we are hosting our very own nature networking in nature event with
Growing in, global property tribe.
oh, and we're so excited because this is the exact kind of networking that we wished we had back in the day. It's basically a day in the Forest of Dean.
With a picnic
With a
included.
picnic included. We're outdoors in nature, our favorite place to be, not in a stuffy corporate room with a hard seat. And we're going to go on a guided foraging walk with a professional who is just incredible. We've done
So knowledgeable.
so, and we're going to talk about how everything is connected.
And this is the kind of networking event we always wanted to be part of. People who really care about the environment, people who are nature lovers, but also are are wanting to create wealth for themselves and their family,
Yeah.
and not feel like they have to choose.
Yeah, just everything is connected and intertwined, and there's no life work balance. We wanted a networking experience that was just a really enjoyable time and a place where people can genuinely
Actually make
open up
relationships.
and make friendships and connections and share ideas in a in a networking event that they're actually going to go back from and be like, oh, that was a great day. Like, why don't we make networking more fun?
Yeah, because isn't the point of networking supposed to be
Life.
creating memories
Yeah.
with each other, sharing knowledge,
Yeah.
and not being
In a
in a
classroom.
classroom
Yeah.
with each their own.
But yes, if you are interested in coming, it's in September. Send us a DM nature and we will send you the link to book your spot. It is limited, so I
The space is
recommend
already being filled up, so please, if you don't want to miss out, then
send us a DM
send
now.
us a DM.
But back onto the topic, we have from this experience, like we don't do well in a classroom setting either.
No.
Like I already said, I need to move. I'm a very physically and visually engaging like learner. I need to have both those things for something to really sink into my brain. We had a PowerPoint presentation at in our education within property, and I didn't think that was absorbing knowledge into my brain very well. And it felt very much like school. But I think an interactive, immersive sort of education personally is my preference.
And also, it didn't really cater to people who, well, we were just trying to start a business at the same time, and it didn't really cater towards us in that way, as we had a startup, and now that I've got kids, learning at a pace where I can make time for it instead of on someone else's schedule, um, and having to take time off from my business and my kids, it just makes sense to be able to learn in a way that's not being giving 3 days worth, 6 days worth to
Yeah.
take time out of my own
That
schedule.
actually makes it weirdly exclusive, as in like not everybody's going to be able to access this course. If you are, you could still be a really driven person, but it's just a struggle to take a step away from your business. It's easier to work in the work from or learn from home as opposed to pay such an amount of money to be in London
Yeah,
and
like
sit in a
imagine if you
room.
had multiple businesses and you needed to be able to work around those businesses.
That wasn't available. Yeah. Or parents who just need to have more, can't sort out childcare for those specific dates that the
Yeah,
course is happening,
yeah.
then you miss
Then you
out.
miss out.
So I think on reflection, with all the tools that are available to us in this day and age regarding sharing knowledge and sharing information, Ruth and I were really determined to create something that we wished we had when we were starting our property education.
And our own entrepreneurial journey at the same time.
Yeah.
So this is really perfect for people who may have kids, are business owners.
So you've already got
You've
a
already
motivated mindset. You're already somebody who's an open-minded thinker and thinks outside of the box.
and you already know how to keep your time.
Mhm.
You already know how to slot in your personal development and education around your working hours.
So if that's you, then we are so excited and happy to announce that we are releasing our course, The Beginner's Roadmap to Building a Buy-to-Let Portfolio. It is totally self-paced. You can do it from the comfort of your pajamas at home, and fit it around your busy life.
Yeah, without having to take time off.
You can complete it at your own pace. Everything's going to be sent to you in digestible chunks. So there'll be several modules. It's basically a course where you're going to be sent a module every week, but you will have constant access to the course. And then, can you scroll that back up? And then you will have access to a community group following that, so that you're not left on your own.
This will be right at the end. And the reason why we've done this is because we want to make sure that this community group is valuable for everyone. We want everyone to be at the same level of knowledge so that everyone can gain a lot of value from it and help each other without this foundational knowledge first. It's not going to benefit you and it's not going to benefit anyone else in creating the relationships here.
Until you have that baseline knowledge so that you can take wild action and change your life. So the benefit of this group means that you're just going to be with everybody who's on that same wavelength, same energy level, same proactivity and drive to actually get something done. Lift each other up and make new friendships, and we'll create more networking events. And we're just so happy and excited and honestly proud of ourselves to create something that we wished we had at the beginning. And we really truly believe that this is going to benefit your property education journey in a way that's not going to give you burnout. It's going to be a lot more wholesome, a lot more holistic,
and more in tune with working it around you without having to hustle your way.
Not just that, it's also going to be a fraction of the price of what we paid. Ruth and I think paid
combined was like 25 grand.
This is going to be a fraction of that. If you're interested in growing your financial literacy, improving your life, claiming your time back in a sustainable way, then investing in a buy-to-let portfolio and learning how to do that repeatedly so that you grow a strong, solid backbone for your income and your family, and you can pass on this legacy as well, then definitely sign up to the wait list. It might not even be a wait list anymore by the time this podcast is out. Sign up to the Beginner's Roadmap to Building a Buy-to-Let Portfolio. We'll put the link in the description down below.
And when is it coming out?
On the 14th of August. So
Right now, it's going through beta tester trials.
We really want to make sure that what we're releasing to you is as good as we can, as amazing as we can make it. So they're going to help us iron out anything that needs ironing out and perfecting. But yes, we can't wait to share it with you. If you have any questions about it, send us a DM. We're always here on Instagram at Honest Property Sisters.
But
And
also to add as
Mhm.
well that it's not just the community group. There will be more option as well. If you need more individualized help, then we have a team of people who are able to support you in that area as well. We look forward to growing together and building long-term relationships with each other.
because your network, oh my gosh, it's definitely your net worth. I know it sounds cliche, but
And
it's
it's so
true.
important to surround yourself with people who are wanting the best for you, wanting you to succeed,
Mm.
and having your corner.
So if you're anything like us and you want to grow your wealth sustainably and effectively so it lasts and claim your time back, then we look forward to seeing you on the other side.